All right, guys, welcome to the Biracial Brothers Podcast. I'm your co-host, Chris Davis. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss new episodes. Also, be sure to hit us up on Instagram and Facebook. Plus, there's some listener support links in the description. If you'd like to go ahead and donate, we'd appreciate it. But with the paperwork done, this is my A1 Day 1, brother from the same father and mother.
Yeah.
Lee Davis. What's going on, Lee?
I'm doing wonderful.
It's always good to hear.
It is nice to hear, actually.
Oh, yeah, it is. And here's one of my favorite people of all time, Boo. What's going on, Boo?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? What it is, what it ain't.
What it's gonna fucking be.
Hell yeah. Another glorious good day.
All right, well, I got a question that somebody brought up to me.
And we appreciate that. Keep the questions coming
The
in.
questions coming.
All right, can you have a sexual relationship with somebody and just be friends? Like, can you be friends with benefits and you stay friends? Like, nobody get feelings hurt, no jealousy, anything like that.
You want to go?
I'll go.
I'll go.
I'll definitely go. I would say yes.
You can.
Yeah. And I know you might be surprised by that
A little bit. How do you say so?
because I've done it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are y'all still friends?
Well, not anymore, but not because like, oh, it happened because of, some feelings or something. We were just kind of like friends with benefit on the side, saying she'd show up. She knew what she was there for. I knew what I was there for. We did the thing and we moved on. Like now, of course, that was when I was single and living like I said a few episodes ago, I figured out the Matrix with the whole pickup artist thing.
Yeah.
And I think the trick is you have to set expectations.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because if you leave any room for interpretation of what your intentions are, then I feel like that's gonna mislead the woman or the guy, and then they're gonna have these expectations built up.
Yeah.
To where I was off the bat, you know what I'm saying, like, look, this is just what it is. You're awesome.
So you never got jealous over anything she did?
No.
Any guy she talked to? Anything like that?
See, y'all didn't think that, huh?
No.
Yeah, y'all.
You just a cold motherfucker. Then.
Hey, man, I learned well. Like, don't let the smooth taste fool you.
I
Like,
can feel you on that.
No, but I mean, me personally, I'm glad you said that because I feel like the total opposite. There's no, man, if you're my friend, I came up with this thought where if I take, colored pencils or chalk or something and I make a rainbow, right? You see the rainbow, all different colors. Well, if I take it and I just smear the shit, then it's just one jumbled ass mess. And I think that I understand if everybody's just being completely honest, and now if you can get that out of them, and it's all completely honesty, about it all, then yeah, you could do it. But my thing is, they're not really your friend. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just the way this world is. We blur everything to where, it's just one hodgepodge of,
So would you say it'd be easier to start off with friends being and benefits? Or
well, I'll say this: you need to be friends with your lover. You need to be friends, general. You know what I'm saying? In order for somebody to be the love of your life, that's your fucking friend. That's your friend.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. You can't go around hating the nigga that you love. You know what I'm saying?
you don't want to do that.
No, that doesn't.
Arranged marriages and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm happy we're not in that culture.
fuck that.
Like,
No, because that would be, I don't know. For me, myself, if you're a friend, you're a friend. If I'm looking at you in that light to where it's love, then yeah, there's going to be love there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
you don't think so?
No, I feel like me personally, like if it was like a Tinder thing, like we met up, we're butt buddies or whatever, and then we're friends, but we know what it is, kind of like what you're saying,
Right.
But opposed to y'all been friends for a couple of years, and then
you just have a
y'all
drunk
just
night
had
together.
a drunk night together, or both of y'all on rebounds with each other. You know what I mean? Y'all just so happen to choose each other. I feel like if that was the case, if y'all was friends first, it'd be impossible to separate the two.
For me, we were friends for the longest time in this one. I've actually had two of these.
You slide dog you.
Yeah. I feel like you're shocked that it's like I'm even shocked that I've even had this. But I will say, we just, we decided let's just go for it. She was going through a thing. I was single. I was like, hey, why don't you come on over? We did. And then, but I've also had it to where, I wanted to start out like that, and then feelings were caught, and then we were a relationship.
So you had both.
So I've had both of them,
Yeah.
and I tried to, separate them, especially on the one that caught. I tried to break things off, and it didn't work because she was like, and then I felt bad, and I was like, fuck, like,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
then I saw how awesome she really was, and I was like, man, I can't do that. Yeah. So I felt bad. But on the ones that where it did work, as far as friends with benefits, the expectations were, hey, this is, and then one time I feel like I kind of put it down a little bit, and then right after she was like, have you thought about getting a girlfriend? Like immediately after sex, and I was like, no, I'm not looking into. I'm not looking for that.
I want.
She was disappointed for a little bit, but she also came back. We had a few more romps, and
Well,
that was
if
it.
you put it down, then of course you're gonna come back.
Yeah, I think that's honestly what it was. It's like it was kind of whatever, messing around. And then she was like, wow.
Damn.
Because
See what this is.
from what I understand is good dick is hard to come by.
Yeah, that's why you can see the dirtiest motherfucker out there, like cheat all over his girl, and the girl never leave because
It's some good dick.
Good dick. She's
Yeah.
comfortable. She's getting power drive.
She's getting that elbow from the top rope.
Yeah.
You look like you're about to say something. What are you about to say?
I see your gears are turning.
This is a podcast. You got to say it.
For me, yeah, man. When you've had that sex and you fucking, you put it down, then yeah, I think that opens everybody's eyes. Like, fuck, man, But the opposite of that, it can be just as well, where y'all are good friends and the fucking sex was like, that was me. Everybody came, so you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Yeah,
but
we
then you're
did
like, so it really just depends on the person. And I'm the type of person where if I really feel a certain way about you, that I'm going to put it down. The work hat's going to go on. I'm going to clock in.
You got some pride about yourself.
I'm going to put it
Got
down.
some pride.
And everybody's going to leave happy because that's what I signed up to fuck for. Now, if it's just masturbation with somebody, then it's like, as long as everybody came. But
Right, Cam. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, but with me, and I know I'm different than y'all and the world and all that shit, to where I put value in emotions. I put in, to be a man and have emotions and be able to sit down and decipher everything at one time. Like, if I feel like you can't outlove me. That's the way I feel. You can't outlove me.
Okay.
If somebody comes up to me and they're like, Lee, I have this feeling for you and this and that, and then I put some thought into it. Yeah, I feel that way about you too. No matter what the fuck you give me flowers, I'm gonna give you a fucking garden. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you more than what you can give me.
You hear this, ladies?
Yeah. Well, that's just what it is. I'd almost be willing to bet that everybody that I've been with would tell you that when I'm on, and it's not just a sexual relationship or a relationship, just every relationship. If I'm on, man, it's
hard to beat.
You can't beat it. Because I put my effort into it, and I know my effort is
That's why I feel like it's hard for me to be like Chris and just have that agreement, understanding, and to stay that. Because even if I go into that whole situation with, there ain't gonna be nothing but what it is,
Right.
it always turns into somebody, most likely them, catching feelings, and it's like, now I'm the asshole. Now I got to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, I've been the bad guy before, and it's not easy but you also know if it's not gonna work, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing there. So I just was like, this isn't gonna work out.
Like after you've had sex, and you're like, man, we shouldn't have fucking done that, man. That was.
I've never had that thought. I've never had that thought. I'm like, I'm happy I did that.
No. I've had
But I think y'all are learning something about me right now. Like I'm kind of Well, and I'm not like that anymore. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to have a great woman right now. So I'm hoping that part of my life is forever.
It's like for me,
forever
I just
gone.
know you went like a little spill without doing anything. So it's like,
Yeah.
so I guess you said when you ever figured it out, you kind of hoard out.
I hoard out, and I'm not kidding. Like it was like
Yeah.
I unlocked the matrix, and because I went so long without it, I was like,
Gotta make up.
Fuck this, dude. I'm gonna get my numbers up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because once you're like the episode of Dexter, where the lady was like, everybody always ends up old and in the way, anyways.
Yeah.
Right? You end up old and in the way, so you might as well smash while you can smash. Until you, but like I also said, but like I also said, that became hollow.
That sounds like an HIV commercial.
Yeah, shallow how.
Shallow, yes, smash. But like I said, there's a season for everything. So there's a season in my life where I needed to do that just to make sure I wasn't crazy or some weirdo.
What did you take from that? What did you learn from that?
I learned that it was doable. I learned that I was worthy because I had this huge like insecurity complex. So I'm about to get raw with you right now. You remember when Snack used to say, our cousin Snack, he would always say, "Oh, growing up, Mama would just leave you. Your mom would just leave you in the crate, or not the crate, but like the crib, and nobody would ever play with you." Well, that actually messed with me because I felt inferior. Like I felt I wasn't worthy of love.
That's why I don't listen to Snack.
I didn't know that. He told me a couple years ago. He's like, "Yeah, I was just lying to you, dude." I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like you scarred my whole life." Yeah, because I thought I wasn't really, I wasn't worthy of happiness. I wasn't worthy of having a girlfriend. I saw everybody else be in these great relationships, but I wasn't. Yeah. And no matter what I could do, because I was doing it wrong, I wasn't getting the correct results from my efforts. I kind of went further into a shell. I put girls on a pedestal, and if you know anything about women, they hate being put on a pedestal, and it was just this spiral of bullshit. So for me, it took me learning. You asked me what I learned. I learned that I am worthy of a relationship. I am a good boyfriend. I am a good partner. I am worthy of acceptance just for me, flaws and all. That's why I'm able to come on YouTube and Spotify and tell because now I'm gonna wrap it up. Now my self-worth doesn't really come from other people anymore. No. Yeah. It comes from like I'm doing my best.
It has to come from within.
Well, and that's my thing, like growing. We all grow, like I would say between 0 and 20. I was just in emotion, you know what I'm saying? Raw, good, bad, however. If I felt it, I said it. And then from, I'd say from about 25 to 30 on, I just pulled back. Like from there to now, I pulled back everything to where I don't show a lot of emotion. And that's why, I'm sitting quiet. Somebody thinking, what the fuck's wrong with Lee?
You know, to start shooting people.
He's going to snap.
He's going to murder somebody. But no, I think I have to get back to the point where I am being more emotional. I tell this person, I love you. And I'm a big believer in telling people that I love you.
Give them flowers while they're alive.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like you show up at the funeral talking about, man, I love that dude. Nigga never heard it from you. Yeah, I ain't never heard it one time.
Yeah, I didn't even think you liked me.
Yeah.
Now you love me.
And that's why I think, like, as far as me in relationships, I put so much value on it because I seen our mama and I seen the ones around us just, you get married 4 or 5 times and it's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. How can you show back up to God 3 different times talking about,
till death do you part.
Get the fuck up,
or
man.
Until you're irritated at part.
Until this nigga don't have a job, or until this motherfucker gets sick, or she's old and ugly and fat, and it's like
don't take their vows before God seriously.
Yeah, man. And I did. You know what I'm saying? Now I should have fucking done better. But I will say I took them seriously. That's why when it was over, man, you didn't see me going and fucking and doing none of that and go, you know what I'm saying, going out of my way to end that relationship. I understood what it was, but I wasn't going to go before God and be like, no. You know what I'm saying? Because I took those vows seriously. That's the only reason I was trying to be the husband that I was or the father that I am. God gave this to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I went and told them in front of everybody that I'm gonna do my best by it. Now, yeah, if you don't know how to be married or how to be in that,
never
then
taught.
it's hard to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need two people that are willing to grow, and you know what I'm saying?
That's why marriage counseling is
Yeah.
important. I feel like. Did y'all have marriage counseling? Did y'all sit down
No.
with a preacher
Shoulda.
or a counselor?
No, because it preaches. Come on, man.
I mean, not-
saying.
I
no,
mean-
I'm not talking about with them, but I'm saying just the whole thing is just fucked up to where the people who were supposed to be the mentors or the
Right.
older guard, they wouldn't worth fuck. So who you gonna listen to them? But yeah, but looking back on it, yeah, we should have done marriage counseling. We needed somebody outside of us that actually gave a fuck to
Right.
sit down and you know what I'm
A
saying?
fair, impartial
man.
referee
To be like, yeah, well, you're fucking up here and you're fucking up here, and y'all just need to talk more, do this more, get out of each other's fucking way, that kind of shit.
Like, I feel like I appreciate y'all for that same point, because a lot of times when something's going on with me and Star, and I bring it up to y'all because older brothers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
But we give a fuck too.
yeah,
so.
that's like a lot of times it's y'all will take her side. Like, do you see why she feels that way? You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
yeah.
you can't do what you're doing. It's like, and I do appreciate that. You know,
No,
it's just a different
yeah, man.
perspective. It's not her just like compounding things on top of me. It's there's a reason I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And
That
I'll
helps.
give it to you the other way too. You know what I'm saying? If I think you're right, then I'll tell
Yeah.
you you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
I'm not a side person. I'm gonna be on this person's side. I'm on the side of right.
Yeah, what's right? Yeah.
Yeah, so whoever's right, and well, you're acting like an idiot, and she's tripping on every little thing that you do, then you need to fix this part, and then she needs to be more accepting of this, and then y'all just talk. Just keep fucking talking. As long as you're communicating, it will eventually lead to wherever it's supposed to be at.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with childhood, right? Like how you deal
Man, and
with.
we got fucked out of that from the beginning.
Yeah,
man, to
as y'all
where-
can tell, just go back and listen to older podcasts, and you'll see
Yeah.
we had some really messed up
you
childhood
would be
moments.
surprised that we are even nearly as decent as we are. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
we had a
man.
lot of opportunities to be shit.
Yeah.
We grew up with
Yeah.
unstable enablers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a word right there. But as far as like my thing is, I don't care who has the good idea. I'm going to run with that
Yeah,
idea.
it's a good idea.
That's how I am with my friendships. That's how I am at work. That's how I am with Brittany. That's how because growing up, I don't know if you remember this, Lee, but I was always go with the flow. I didn't give a fuck like who has the most who has the most fun. That's one thing I really appreciate about Bender is that I had this one friendship for years and years, and it really wasn't that fun. Like we were just more drinking buddies than anything.
Yeah.
And then Bender came along, and I was like, it gave me a whole new perspective of this is how you can actually live life. You know what I'm saying? You can go on vacations, you can have boat days, you can have jet skis and kayaks, and like
Yeah, you can
go
on
do.
adventures.
You can go stand up in front of a crowd and sing karaoke. You can do whatever you want to do, to where a lot of the time, a lot of these ideas are his ideas. I don't give a fuck whose idea it is.
Yeah, I know.
Is it fun? Is it going to be a worthy memory?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Is it entertaining? Is it going to be worth my time? And if it's yes in that, then I don't have the pride to be like, well, I didn't think of it. It's not my idea.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
stupid. Yeah, that's
I'd rather sit in a corner by myself with my idea than hop on somebody else's winner.
And see, this is like I was telling my oldest son, Chubb. You know what I'm saying? I'm shaped like my grandfather. What happens is you got my father and my grandfather. I've got the inner parts of my father, and then the outer parts are my granddaddy. Yeah. All right. Well, Chubb's is the same way. He's the inside is me, and the outside is Jeff. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking at me like, well, Daddy, you're just tall and skinny. And he's like, I'm not going to be that. It's like, for one, you don't know what you're going to be.
Right.
So,
Only 9 years old. Calm down.
At
You know, a lot of
you'll-
changes.
Yeah, at 20, we'll talk about this. But right now, you need to look at him and see what he is and be like, well, okay, now, I can't sit there and eat and just do nothing or whatever. You know what I'm
stay
saying?
active.
I sat and ate half a pumpkin pie yesterday in a tub of Cool Whip. You are not if you were not built like me, don't do that.
Do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. I got
Moment
a
on
high,
the lips, forever on the hips.
I got a high metabolism, man, so I can eat what the hell I want.
That's
But
how I am. Yeah.
Chubbs can't sit there and eat half a pie and fucking, tub
Yeah.
of Cool Whip and be like I'm gonna sit here and play PlayStation all day.
Yeah,
Man,
you're
you
gonna
need to
get
get up
fat.
and run, nigga.
Yeah,
Run.
heart
But-
disease is real.
But this is what I say all that to say this is that I want to tell my children, I want to download what I've gone through and learned and give it to them. That way, when they get to where, life's theirs, then they already know, well, my daddy's always taught me this and taught me that, to where we just figured out at 25, okay, well, now you got to, then we start growing up, as opposed to being, he's going to be 10 years old and he already knows.
Has a much better foundation.
Yeah, so that means he's going to be so much more than us trying to figure it out we're trying to figure shit out at 40. You know what I'm saying? Or at 30, and it's like you're already behind the curve, man.
So far behind.
the curve.
Like I have to tell myself that sometimes, I'm not farther along in my career that I would want to be. But
you got a later start.
I got a later start. Like nobody was showing me. I never had a one-on-one with my parents to show it. Like, actually, this is how money works.
Yeah.
This is why you need to build assets. This is why you
budget. You'll have
but if
money.
the people who above you ain't got shit, they can't teach you how to have shit.
Yeah,
so
they never had. There's a great book. Most of you guys have heard of it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if y'all have ever read that or not, but
I've heard of it.
I read it and I was like. And basically, Robert Kiyosaki has two dads. His real dad, which was like an employee, worked for the government, had PhDs and doctorates. And then his rich dad, who had like a high school education, but was a serial entrepreneur who understood how money worked.
yeah.
And the rich dad was like, why would you do X, Y, and Z? Why don't you do A, B, and C? Because that's and where the poor dad was like, you need to get a job. You need to follow the path of society. Because if you understand how society actually works, it's not meant for employees. You don't become rich in America by being an employee.
By clocking into somewhere
You don't
every
do it.
day, working 9 to 5 for 25 years, you look at the house on the hill, you're not going to have that.
You're not going to have that. You become rich by building a service, having something that generates revenue.
You go outside of yourself to achieve financial, you know what I'm saying? If you do like society says, you get married, you have kids, and you just work a 9 to 5 for 40 years, as long as you can save good, you will accumulate, you will grow a little bit, but as far as you being a millionaire, you're not.
It's not going to happen.
You're not.
Unless you like scratch offs or something like
win the
that.
lottery, yeah.
Which I took statistics class in college. That's why I don't play the lottery. Like you're not going to win.
And honestly, and that's what I've seen playing the lottery. It's like dude at the store is like, man, you want any tickets? Like, no, because I know where I fall at, and I spend $45 to win $25. I've lost $20.
I'd rather you take that $20. Let's advertise on YouTube or Facebook and grow this podcast and something.
Exactly.
That's a better use of money. See, rich people use other people's labor for their money.
For their game.
Their growth,
Yeah, while they're out playing golf or on their boat, they have a bunch of employees working for them, building their wealth. Now, I know this doesn't really have anything to do with relationship. It kind of does, but to tie it back into relationships, we didn't have that. We didn't have anybody sit us down and tell us these things.
Yeah.
So there's a right way of going about it and a wrong way.
And I'll say this as far as it's tying into relationships. That's why I put the value that I have on the shit. I don't have time to just be out fucking somebody on a Friday night because it's Friday night and I don't have to work tomorrow. I don't care about that. That's nothing that's going to, is that going to mean something to me in 6 months? Well, no, you're just friends. Oh,
You said it's hollow.
Yeah, there ain't
it
nothing
does.
to it. Now, if me and her can get on the level to where we can be a relationship in 6 months or a year or whatever, then yeah, I'll invest all of me into it. But if that's not, then I'm not gonna. She's not getting a whole version of me because I'm not putting all of me in that.
Buki, when did you decide that Star was going to be your wife?
When he woke the fuck up.
Yeah, I was like, when I got in that wreck and I hit my head, got concussed.
Really?
All right, but
Are you being serious? 'Cause-
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
like,
if you look at Star and you just know that Star and Boo are meant to, and I'll say that she's the perfect woman. She's not the perfect woman for me or for you. She's the perfect woman for Boo.
For me.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, I think Brittany's the perfect woman for you. You know what I'm saying? I believe that he is blessed every day to have Star beside him. because she has done enough to fuck that up.
He has.
And she
And
loves
he
it. And that's how you know somebody loves somebody.
Like we got divorced.
Yeah. Man, look, they got
And
divorced.
remarried.
Got remarried and had another child and are happy together. Why? Really, the reason why is because both of them grew.
Yes.
Both of them grew up. You got out their own way, man, and you just and so that's why, like, me and him lived together when they first started getting together. And then, I told him, I sat him down after work and I told him, I was like, if you and Star ever get a chance to get back together, go do your thing. Don't worry about me because I want you to have your family. I want you to be happy. And if that, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's because I'm listening to Boo all the time. It's always about Star and about them and about, I know who you love. And if she's still having these conversations with you, then she loves you. Y'all niggas just fucking get it together and act right.
Right.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, but to answer your question, it was I was young and dumb, Scorpio once again, but it's you kind of took it for granted. I did. I kind of took it for granted. It's like she's such a good person. It's like I do whatever and she'll stay there. It's like but it's like once she got to the point to where she's like no. You know what I mean? She quit enabling everything I was doing.
She held you to standards.
Yeah.
That's
why it's important to hold yourself to standards.
She started viewing or understanding her own self-worth. And she's like, no, nigga, I'm not allowing that. So it's like,
right.
So when she said no and we split up and it's.
Yeah, this nigga sitting somewhere heartbroken talking about, man.
Damn, I've really fucked up.
Yeah.
I really do love her. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and then I would rush back. I was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm fixed. We split like a month or two apart. No, I'm good. I fixed myself, this and that. And then we get back together, and then it just falls back into the same old pattern, same routine.
Because nigga ain't grown. Nigga ain't really done nothing.
But, like, once we got divorced, we spent, like, 3, maybe 4 years away from each other. And it's like, that's enough time to grow.
Yeah. I didn't realize y'all had been split that long.
Now, we had our little moments where it's like, Star, she's a funny person, but she's not the one to go out and start relationships, nor is she the one to, like, if you were to hit her up, she'd be like, no, I'm trying to deal with my kids right now. She's trying to deal with her before she deals with somebody else.
And that's my main thing. Like, I've tried to fix me before I even put myself back out in there. And honestly, I have done a wonderful job. I mean, I have. I will pat my own back because I know who I've been. And I know what, you know what I'm saying? I understand the value that people have on me and that I impact other people's lives. So if I'm being quiet, I'll go out of my way to tell you, no, I'm fine. I'm just in my own head thinking. It's nothing that, because people see me being quiet, they be like, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? He's all fucking pissed off and all that. Yeah, that's not me. That's me. Honestly, I don't get angry no more. Man, I feel weird when I have been angry. It's like, damn, nigga, I don't like that feeling. And I grew up angry. Grew up so angry, man, and so mad, and it's like, no, I don't want to be that person.
Life was really unfair for us growing up. Yeah. I remember, and that's another thing, like with my career and just relationships in general, it was like I didn't expect good things to happen because they never did. Every time something was awesome about to happen growing up, it did not work, and nothing ever materialized.
Something shitty always followed.
Yeah. Something every time. I remember one time Mama and Ron were talking about buying a new truck, which, thinking back on it, what purpose does poor people have buying a new truck? But anyway, I was a kid. I didn't know the difference.
You got a truck, but you got 8 kids in the house.
Yeah, but I didn't know it. So
they had no intention on taking you anywhere.
They didn't. Yeah, like you weren't. You just got a nice car in the driveway you can't actually afford. But that just stood out to me, like, that was one instance where it never materialized. I remember we were going to get like karate gis or something. We were going to do something with like karate outfits.
I learned real quick, man.
That never happened.
They ain't doing nothing but talking.
Yeah.
They ain't doing nothing but talking, giving themselves something to feel good about, which will never come. That's why I grew so accustomed to people coming in my life. We have a great time, and then you leaving. Then you're gone. Then I was like, well,
of course that's how it's going to be. That's how it's always going to be.
Yeah. And then you grow up, and it's like, okay, what part did I play into this person leaving? You know what I'm saying? Or did I have? And if you didn't have anything to do with it, it's like, All right. Well, you have to start working on yourself before you can. And man, and we were still just a shitty ass deal in the beginning, man. To where, like I said, that's why God gave me my kids. That way, I had that value to fix me, so I could fix them, because I couldn't help them until I helped me. And then that's why I take being a dad so fucking serious, man. Because
I feel the same way. I'm so glad. Well, thinking back on it now, I'm so glad that God gave me my kids at such a young age, because I was at that point at 20 years old, I could have done anything and could have went anywhere to do it. Like, I just joined a frat. I was going to do a bunch of stupid shit.
yeah,
But like having Dre grounded me. So like I have to provide for him, and like I've been doing that ever since then. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm glad I got the kids when I got them, because they make me who I am. So it's like, I mean, like Star, she makes me who I am. You know what I mean? So it's like I understand all that now, to where then I just took everything for granted. You know what I mean? And that's like, once again, why we got divorced. And I realized what it is and what it ain't. And I'm so glad that, like you were saying earlier, those vows we took, I got a chance to amend them and like make them right. And I'm doing that. I'm making them right. And I'm going to continue to do so. You know what I mean? But you got to just work on yourself. And that's really what it is. Just continuously work on yourself and work on y'all, and life will figure it out for you.
every day you should be learning something about you. Every day is a learning experience, whether it's at work, with your kids, with yourself, however. Learn fucking something, man. This world is just be entertained and, whatever feels good is good. No, the fuck it ain't.
No.
Hell, man.
That's not how life is set up. Life is not set up for you to just enjoy yourself all the time. Like Bible says, when troubles and trials and tribulations come, not if.
No.
Like you're gonna have problems. And if you have, or if you're in a relationship with somebody who is a good time person, saying, or if you're a Disney dad, or if you're only here for the good times, then life's gonna punch you in the face really fast.
Really hard too.
Yeah, because life isn't made. I'm really kind of happy that I don't have any kids yet, because I'm getting ready to have kids. Like mentally, I'm not saying like, oh, she's pregnant, like nothing like that. I mean, like,
are you sure?
Emotionally, yeah, I'm sure. I'm very sure this week. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna edit that out. But I emotionally, I may or may not have been ready to have kids. Where now, I can be a good dad. I know I'm going to be a good dad because I've learned enough. So I didn't want to have a bunch of kids because I grew up in a house with a bunch of kids and didn't have shit. That's not who I am. That's not my testimony.
I feel you.
So I decided, no, I'm going to build myself up as much as possible, get as much out of life as I can, and then bring others. Like I didn't want to have a kid I can't afford.
Yeah.
Yes,
because I was a kid that people couldn't afford.
Yeah.
Yes, God bless.
And it's got a shitty life to it.
It's a fucking terrible way to go about it. So I'm putting myself and my career and the mate I chose in a position to where
to succeed.
If if something happens, money's not gonna be an impediment to our life.
Yeah.
If God allows it, and if I have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Because life changes too much, and let me at least not fuck that one thing up.
And that's why it's very important that, you and your mate can grow. Can you weather the storms together? If you can weather the storms together, that's why it's like I said, like a couple or the last podcast or whatever, that it's important to know the one that you're with, not just be with somebody because you're bored or I don't like being alone or whatever. No, man, you got to know the person that you're with. That way, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good time. Life is great. Y'all fucking, tornado comes through and steals your house and you're still great. You just, we got to figure out where we're going to live.
Figure it out.
Myself, man, I just believe that. And like I don't think I had 3 kids because I could afford them. That's just how God worked it out. But at the same time, I give my kids all of me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my kids get, what I'm saying? I don't spoil my kids by no means, but as far as mentally, my effort, they get all of me. And that's why somebody else coming into my life now, you would have to really bring something to the table because you're taking me away from them. And as far as me and God's concerned, those kids are the only thing that have that place. That's it. And when they grow up, they're going to know that they had that place. You know what I'm saying? They look back and watch these podcasts after I'm dead and gone. They're going to know how I felt about them. They're going to know how, you know what I'm saying, Daddy went about his business when it came to them. Because they can hear these horror stories that we went through. You know? And they'll be like, man, my daddy learned something. One of the best things my father taught me was, by not teaching me, is how to be. Because I already seen how not to be.
Yeah.
So now all I got to do is do the opposite of what he did, you know, care, love, and spend time. Man, boom.
Be surprised how that actually works.
It's funny how it goes.
Well,
man.
guys, that's we're over, man. That's 30 minutes. Good talk.
Yeah, good, nice little interesting talk.
Yeah. So, guys, look, subscribe, like, tell your
you.
people.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Yes.
And as always, guys,
Be
be
mixed.
mixed.